Frank, why do you think so many people in general reject the idea of God and Christianity?
Actually, Paul deals with that in Romans chapter 1. Paul says that we suppress the truth and unrighteousness because we want to go our own way. And I've actually found that to be true. I visit a lot of college campuses, and I get a lot of questions during the Q&A of an I don't have enough faith to be an atheist seminar. And if I sense a little bit of hostility from a questioner, I'll normally stop and ask this question. I'll say, particularly of an atheist, I'll say, if Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? And normally, people will stop and they'll hesitate. And actually, on several occasions, I've had people yell back at me, no! Wait, no. Wait. You claim to be an atheist, a beacon of reason. Never mind if atheism's true, reason doesn't exist. Because if atheism's true, if we're just molecules in motion, we're not really reasoning anyway, we're just reacting. But let's leave that aside. I ask you, if Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? And you say no? How is that reasonable? Well, it's not. Why is it not reasonable? Well, obviously, if it were true, you'd believe in it, right? But it's not a matter of truth at that point. Pascal put it this way. He said, people almost invariably arrive at their beliefs not on the basis of proof, but on the basis of what they find attractive. A lot of people believe things just because they find them attractive. And one of the attractive things about not believing in God is that there's no moral accountability. You get to do whatever you want and never be judged for it. And I found that to be true for a lot of people. In fact, I found that to be true for me. Half the time, I don't want to believe either because I don't want moral accountability. So I think so much of it is volitional. People don't want to believe in it because they don't want to be held accountable. And it's not just me looking at anecdotal evidence for this. I mean, there is anecdotal evidence, but even many atheists admit this. I mean, Christopher Hitchens, I had the opportunity to debate him a couple of times. Brilliant guy, loved Christopher Hitchens, but he really was just mad at God. In fact, I summed up his book at the end of both debates. I said, you can sum up Christopher Hitchens' book in one sentence. Here it is. There is no God, and I hate him. He just didn't want there to be a God. He called God a cosmic North Korean dictator. Great imagery, but the point was, God's looking down at us and he doesn't want us to have any fun, and I'm going to reject that. Thomas Nagel, who teaches at NYU, New York University, back in 1997 said, it's not just that I don't believe in God. He said, I don't want there to be a God. I don't want the universe to be that way. And he said, one of the most disturbing things to me is that some of the most intelligent people I know are religious believers. Nietzsche said, if someone were to prove this God of the Christians to us, we should believe him all the less. Well, how is that rational? Now, obviously, I'm not saying this is true of everyone, but I am saying that a good group of people, a good plurality, maybe a majority of people who don't believe in God reject him for volitional reasons rather than intellectual reasons. So I always ask the question, if Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? And see how people respond. Now, the sword cuts both ways, though, right? People can ask you the same question. Well, if Christianity were false, or say if atheism were true, would you believe? Well, of course. The problem is, you see, a lot of Christians believe in Christ because they find him attractive and they want to believe in him. But if you ask them, what evidence do you have? They couldn't give you any evidence. So the sword cuts both ways. Thankfully, I think it's quite true that there's very good evidence that Christianity is true. So if you're a Christian and you don't know why, at least I think there's good evidence that it is true. When it comes to atheism, I think it takes a lot more faith to be an atheist than a Christian.